Hello and welcome to my channel again. I am Marie and I've been living in this tiny house for 8 months. So a lot of people have asked me if I feel lonely living in the woods. It was even one of the main concerns of my close friends when I moved here. And the answer is no, I don't feel alone, but it's because I take actions to not be. So when I moved here initially, I had a moment where I was a bit in shock to adapt. Not because, I explained that in a past video, not because I struggled for the lifestyle. I struggled with being different and assuming this choice fully, because it's not very common for a young woman my age to move in a tiny house in the forest alone. Let's say it. And at the same time, what happened is that I built a community around me. Like at the same time as I arrived here, which is very counterintuitive because you would think, well, if you move to the forest, you're gonna be alone most of the time. No, actually, I've never been more surrounded in my life, and it's the truth. I have so much smoke in my eyes. I'm gonna continue like this. I have less smoke like this. So, I moved here. I watched a documentary called Blue Zones. And this documentary is about longevity. So they analyzed and studied the humans around the world who lived the longest. And they found they all had something in common. Community. And so I watched this documentary at the same time as I arrived here. So I made it very clear in my intentions that I wanted to build a community. And it was fast. Sometimes when something is aligned for you, it goes fast. I received actually an invitation from someone to be a volunteer in a wellness festival here in the area. I live in Quebec in Canada. So I went as a volunteer, and then from one gathering to the other, all in like wellness gatherings, which is like meditation kind of retreats or wellness conferences talking about emotions and authentic relating, nonviolent communication, dance as well, and music. These gatherings are everywhere in the world. They're not just in Quebec, Canada. There are some in Hawaii. There are some in the United States. There are these hubs everywhere in the world. And so if you watch this and you feel called to these types of gatherings, well, know that it's everywhere. Honestly, it's like new age hippie, I think. It's like people gather. They do hippie stuff like playing music. A lot of people live in vans and all, and live in alternative living. There's like a lot of importance placed on like love and caring relationships and care for each other. And so hippie, but with a wellness touch. So there's like meditation sessions, there's like yoga and stuff like that. And so it's amazing. I made so many friends, and they're all everywhere around Quebec. And once in a while, everybody gather in these gatherings, but also outside of these gatherings. So I built a network so quickly, in like weeks, honestly. It changed my life completely. And I also always loved playing music in my life. And I also got closer to this passion as I was hanging out in these gatherings, because there's always like campfires like that with people playing guitar or like djembes and singing. And so I got closer to music as well through this. And so the honest answer is that I don't feel alone right now at all. I think I've never felt less alone in my life. And it's majorly part of because of these gatherings and this community I built around me. And before that, I was actually living alone in Montreal. I had an apartment myself for like a couple of years. And I was way more alone in Montreal than in the forest. I was way more alone. Here, I know my neighbors. Like I can call my neighbors. We go for a glass of wine. They open doors so that I can do my laundry sometimes. They help me. Like my neighbor just left. He removed snow in my entrance. Like I didn't have that in Montreal at all. If anything, my neighbor hated me. One of them. Like I didn't have that at all. It's completely different. I had that sometimes, but it's not like typical or common. And so I felt way more alone because of neighborhood, but also just because I didn't have this community. Like I said, I didn't build that when I was in Montreal. I could have, but it just happened that it was at the same time as I moved here. The need was so clear for like being surrounded as well, so it was easier. It was easier to do it. It was like very important. And so it changed my life for the better. So do I feel alone living in nature? No. Could I feel alone? Yes. But I could feel alone living in Montreal as well. There's a lot of people who live in cities who feel alone, actually. And so no, it's completely feasible to live in nature and not feel alone. Neighborhood and community is the answer. Okay? Bye. You will need a good car. You need the willingness to do some distance, that's for sure. I just bought a van, by the way, and I'm so happy. I'll show you that later in another video, but I had this dream for a couple years now to buy a van, and I just did it now. And I'm so glad. It's a Ford Transit 2018, 55,000 kilometers, and it's a beast. I love this thing. Oh, it's snow here. It's not the best car, but before that I had a Honda Fit, and I mean, it was, my neighbors kept telling me I was not able to come to my place because of the snow, but they were wrong. I was actually able to come to my place when they remove snow. If the snow removal company is a bit late, then I'm fucked. I hope you enjoy my little fire. I'm gonna make you listen to it. Hear the fire. Hear the fire in your ears. ASMR fire. I think maybe it would work if I do an ASMR campfire. I love this so much. I hope you love it too. Alright, see you later.